SUVs have been a dominant force in the automotive space in recent years, and Tata Motors have decided to have a proper crack at a mid-size SUV, but they've done it in a trend-setting twist through a coupe SUV. It's called the Curvv.ev, and we are here in Udaipur to experience it. At a glance, you'll notice it's a face pretty similar to the Nexon EV with the connected LED DRL strip, the closed-off grille, as well as the headlight setup. What really makes the Curvv live up to its name is from the side, with a soft silhouette, an 18-inch aerodynamic alloy wheel design, and a flush-fitting door handle with an LED illuminated strip. Giving it its coupe SUV identity is this sloping roofline that flows nicely towards the upright rear end, which is sleek and is complemented by a connected LED taillight bar. It's not all curvy though, as the chunky wheel arches, skid plates and split roof-mounted spoiler with a shark fin antenna adds some ruggedness and sportiness to the Curvv.ev. All this alongside the high stance adds up to a strong road presence. It is a pretty familiar feeling inside, similar to the Nexon EV, where the two digital screens, the wireless phone charger, as well as the touch-based center console controls are pretty much retained. But that's not exactly a bad thing, as things look fairly modern. But in the Curvv.ev, you have the ambient lighting extending to the door pads, you get a steering wheel straight out of the Harrier and Safari, and of course you have the ginormous panoramic sunroof. Sitting in the top spec Empower Plus A variant, it is feature loaded like most Tata models. It gets things like wireless smartphone connectivity, connected car tech, compatibility for up to 4 voice assistants, a power driver seat, ventilated front seats, and a 9-speaker JBL sound system. Safety is covered by 6 airbags as standard, ABS with EBD, electronic parking brake with auto hold, and most importantly, level 2 ADAS. There's another much appreciated pedestrian safety feature called the Acoustic Vehicle Alert System that emits a bespoke sound to alert pedestrians at speeds below 20 km per hour. Although it would have been preferable if the sound was a little bit louder, as you won't really hear it around noisy streets. Being seated up front feels comfortable as the seat bolstering is nice. But the real question is at the rear, as will a coupe SUV body style compromise the seating experience? Well, fortunately, Tata Motors have given a nicely sculpted headroom, and the seats can be reclined as well. Me being a 5'7" guy, headroom and legroom is adequate, although for a 6 foot and above person, it can be a bit of a squeeze as there's very little margin for headroom. Also, the high floor and short seat base means a lack of under-thigh support. There are some niceties for chauffeur-driven individuals with cup holders, rear AC vents and a USB Type-C port. Also, I didn't feel much of a difference changing the seat recline position, so it would have been nice to have better adjustability. With this coupe SUV body style comes another key highlight, which is the boot. And it has easy access thanks to a power tailgate. You're greeted to 500 liters of boot space that can be expanded to 973 liters thanks to 60/40 split folding seats, perfect for a long-haul family trip. Being the second EV based on Tata's dedicated Active EV platform, there's 2 battery packs and electric motors to choose from. Now we are driving the long-range 55 kWh battery setup, which is powered by a 160 horsepower front-wheel drive single electric motor. Now that I've got some driving time, I can say that the Curvv.ev impressively doesn't feel like something that weighs over 1700 kilos. In fact, it feels like I'm driving a lighter car. The electric motor feels linear yet engaging enough to put a nice smile to the face. Despite it being 4.3 meters long, it felt planted around corners with barely any body roll. The steering response has a fine balance of feeling light on low speed situations while weighing up nicely at higher speeds. The ride quality is impressive too, keeping the Curvv.ev stable on a variety of road conditions, although you will hear a fair bit of noise while tackling broken surfaces. Checking out the level 2 ADAS, it's a pretty expansive list of safety assists, but what I'm most impressed with was the fact that it felt progressive rather than intrusive and only really took over in serious scenarios, especially while using the lane keeping assist, adaptive steering assist and the adaptive cruise control function. Also, the blind spot monitor now can be viewed on the digital driver display, which is preferable as the previous setup on the Nexon EV that projected onto the infotainment system was a little distracting for the driver. As far as range goes, I started off with 412 km of range left on the odometer on a full charge. Despite my limited time with the Curvv.ev, I managed to cover 130 km and still had 270 km left, utilizing different driving modes and braking regen levels. I felt the least amount of range anxiety in an EV so far, as in the real world, doing 400 km at a stretch on a single charge is an impressive yet achievable goal. It also matches up with Tata's own C75 testing cycle estimated range between 400 and 425 kilometers. The EV is claimed to be capable of a 10 to 80% charge in just 40 minutes through a 70 kW DC fast charger. Also helping ease range anxiety is the updated IRA EV connected app that now has a more centralized way of locating chargers and even plans a route to your ideal destination, taking charging stations and range into account. Capping things off is the vehicle to load and vehicle to vehicle capabilities. With prices starting at Rs 17.49 lakh ex-showroom, the Tata Curvv EV has a lot going for it to really throw a curveball to the mid-size SUV segment as we know it. Being one of two mass-market coupe SUVs in India aside from the Citroën Basalt, it's a larger, more premium alternative to the Nexon EV and stands out with a coupe SUV design, loads of tech and leaves you smiling in performance and range. Yes, the rear seating experience could have been a bit better and more use of soft touch cabin materials would have been nice. But the Curvv EV as an overall package can be considered as a serious alternative to the MG ZS EV. Would you consider the Tata Curvv EV? Let us know in the comments below and subscribe to Car India for more such content. And don't forget the internal combustion engine Tata Curvv is set for a launch on September the 2nd. So stay tuned to this space for when we get our hands on it.